Ontario, take that money and give it to Kemptville College, not Offord College, because only 30 kids there are from Ontario, the rest are from Quebec. Give it to the 170 at Kemptville that are all from Ontario.
Did the government just show up and say, here's $1 million? How'd that come?
Yeah, that's not the first time that's happened. As a matter of fact, that happened last fall under Bob Chiarelli. He went to an Ottawa company that was doing really well. I forget the name of what. Does anybody know what it is? Cisco? Yes, Cisco. Went to them. They have like 17 employees. They're a well-run company. There's nothing. I'm not alleging anything otherwise. But what the heck? I forget. I think he gave him $750,000. It was something like that. So my memory's a little weak on the actual numbers, but I remember the event. And at the time, I asked myself, why? I mean, what's the point? If you really want, the best thing the government can do, if they really care about the economy, is get the hell out of the way.
And,
you know, I would love to. Sorry. Go ahead.
Nick, and one other thing with regards to the auto, they were going to give him $770 million.
That was Chrysler or
Chrysler, and they said no, we don't want it. And Wynn's saying, oh, I'm surprised they didn't even let me know they didn't want the money. Like, what the hell? Why is Vandergragt allowed to walk around with $1 million of our money and give it away to buy a boat? We got to tell them to shove it up their bums. It's
well,
about
now
time.
Okay, talking about buying votes. And this, I know we're drifting a little bit here, but just to make the point about how out of touch this particular government is. Did you know that Ontario now has a Foreign Affairs Department?
What?
You didn't know that, did you?
I did not.
Yeah, well, apparently we do. Because Kathleen Wynne just gave the Ukraine $100,000. Absolutely, I covered it a couple days ago. And what happens is, she's decided, because she's got such a big heart and a fat checkbook, guess where she gets the money for that, decided that there's suffering in Ukraine. And she, as a premier of a compassionate province, decided to give them $100,000.
That we don't have.
Well, there's more to the story. Let me peel back another layer of the onion. First of all, by the time you got $100,000 to Ukraine, how much is left?
Zero.
Does $100,000, as much money as that is, that's not an that pay off a lot of mortgages in this room, I'm sure. But how much does it mean to the people of Ukraine? Would they even notice it if it all got there? It's a drop in the bucket. I mean, the Harper government's offering in the tens of millions. Yeah, $220 million. So she gives $100,000 away she doesn't have. She's stealing from your grandkids.
Yeah.
That's what she's doing, because we're in debt hugely, so the only money she's got is future taxation. And that's what she's stealing. She's stealing it from our grandkids. So she gives them, did you know there's 350,000 Ukrainians in Ontario? Or Ontarians of a Ukrainian extraction.
Yeah.
So when you do the math, this is an attempt to buy votes, because it gets in the press, and all the Ukrainians, oh, they help in my homeland. And I'm not putting down the Ukrainians, but what that boils down to is 30 cents a vote. That's what she thinks.
They'll get it.
I know. So they're selling their province out where they live now. They're Canadians. They're people from Ontario for 30 cents a vote.
And we're getting the bill.
Exactly. So when you think about it, so obviously we now have a Foreign Affairs Department that nobody knows about. Kathleen Wynne does, because she just wrote a check for it. Go ahead.
I'd just like to clarify a few things, Nick. We were with Jack and Janet up at Kemptville. Vandergragt basically admitted in his speech today that he knew well in advance that the two colleges were being closed. And he prefaced that with the remarks that the reason that Alfred is up and running again is because Collège Boreal from up near Sudbury and Cité Collegiale already knew about it and put their self forward. So this was done well in advance.
So my hunch was right.
Yeah. So, and just to clarify something Beth said about the Alfred students, it's not half from Ontario and half from Quebec. Alfred College brings in a lot of students from outside the country, from French countries.
Beautiful.
And these are the students from outside the country that are at Alfred.
Okay, so
That's, yes, half of them are Ontario kids, and the other half, some may be from Quebec, but most of them.
But French country.
all right. So I guess at this point, if you've got more questions and you want to ask any of us questions, by all means, go ahead. If not, then we'll move to bring up Kim McConnell. I believe she's up next.
Sue would like to have
Oh, Sue, I'm sorry. In that case, Sue, come on up here.